Good evening and thanks for joining us. We begin with the mounting pressure on the federal government to take action in the case of two Canadians detained in China. Michael Kovrig's wife says her husband is in a fight for his life and is a pawn in a geopolitical game. In an interview with the CBC, she says the Minister of Justice has the power to end the extradition proceedings of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou, arrested in Vancouver at the request of American authorities. That could result in the release of the two Michaels, Kovrig and Spavor. China accuses Canada of being America's accomplice and has demanded Meng be released. Canada has consistently said the extradition process must proceed without political interference. Our Ottawa Bureau Chief Mercedes Stepehnson joins me. Mercedes, this is tricky ground diplomatically. What are the legal experts telling you?
Donna, high-profile legal minds say under the law, Canada's Justice Minister David Lametti does have the power to free Meng Wanzhou and end her extradition process right now if he wants to. That's a very different message than Canadians have been hearing from the federal government over the past 18 months. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Liberal government have said over and over they can't intervene to end Meng Wanzhou's extradition.
We function on a rule of law basis.
Continue to defend the rule of law.
We don't need to apologize or explain for the decisions taken by our independent justice system.
But one of Canada's most prominent immigration lawyers says that's not true.
The legislation couldn't be clearer. Section 23(3) of the Extradition Act simply says that the Minister of Justice may withdraw the authority to proceed at any time.
Brian Greenspan penned that in a legal opinion after being approached by Michael Kovrig's wife and former Supreme Court Justice Louise Arbour, as well as former Liberal Justice Minister Alan Rock, all frustrated by the government's claims that its hands are tied.
All we're saying is the right exists, the choice exists, the option exists.
Alan Rock says the government was burned in the SNC-Lavalin scandal and now is holding back from intervening in a case where they have legitimate authority.
Our two Canadian hostages are facing that danger in China. They're being subjected to a show trial. Criminal charges were laid last week in a court that has a 99% conviction rate.
Rock says it is in Canadian national interest to intervene, with lives on the line and economic fallout hitting the Canadian economy. Not to mention the muting of Canada's criticism of China on things like Hong Kong, even freezing a decision on how to proceed with 5G technology.
Our foreign policy is also being held hostage, and it's about time that that come to an end as well.
Others have criticized this approach as a hostage exchange and fear that it would send the wrong message to China, undermining a growing international consensus that countries must stand up to Beijing.
If we give in to this kind of menacing blackmail and coercion, then it sets a precedent which could lead to further incidents. It would simply embolden the Chinese government to do more of this kind of thing in future.
So, Donna, what is clear is that the minister can intervene. The question of whether or not he should do so is much more complicated.
Mercedes Stepehnson in Ottawa, thank you.